Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is all about more dressing rules I think everyone should learn. And first up is to shop for shoes at the end of the day. This is so helpful because as we go throughout our days, our feet and other extremities tend to swell. This can happen as a result of how we're feeling that day. Maybe we're slightly under the weather itself, if it's colder outside or warmer outside, that can cause our feet and our hands to expand. And then also, when you're on your feet all day, blood rushes to them, so they naturally do get a little bit larger. So by shopping for shoes at the end of the day, you're ensuring that you're fitting your foot at its most uncomfortable, basically. And that allows you to find a pair of shoes that's really comfortable for an entire day, rather than just when you put them on in the morning. Next is to always remove visible tags and those little threads on the back of jackets and blazers. This is a mistake that I have made so many times. When you buy a new jacket, it comes with a lot of tags and then different stitchings in various places that look intentional, but really those are just there to make sure the jacket or the blazer doesn't lose its shape in transit. So it's very important that you remove those and get rid of them. You don't need them, and they make the whole jacket or the blazer look a lot more polished and a lot more intentional. It looks like you know what you're doing, and that's always good. Speaking of jackets and blazers, it can be really confusing to figure out your ideal sleeve length, especially as that relates to the sleeve of your sweater or your shirt, whatever you're wearing underneath your jacket or your blazer. So of course, this is totally subjective. You can do whatever you want, and personal expression should always be at the forefront of personal style. But if you're looking for something that will be really versatile and something that will look good forever despite changing trends, my recommendation is to have your sleeve of your blazer or your jacket be no more than 1.5 to 2 centimeters difference than the sleeve of your shirt or your sweater or whatever you have underneath it. Doing so always looks incredibly clean, very neat, very intentional, and I personally think fantastic. No outfit is complete without accessories, and one of my personal favorite accessories is a silk scarf. So today I want to share 3 super easy ties with you. The first is something I call the choker, and this just requires taking your scarf, folding it into a relatively thin rectangle. You can play around with it and find the size that works for you and flatters you, and then just tie it in the back behind your hair or behind the collar of your shirt. This always looks great. It looks like jewelry in a sense, and it adds interest to any top, so it doesn't matter the neckline you're wearing. This looks good with every single one. This next tie is something that I like to use to fill empty space, and I particularly like it when it's cold outside because it's really practical and it actually serves a purpose. So all you do is take your scarf and then fold it into a triangle, and then take the little ends, go once behind your back, bring them up front, and tie it in a little knot. And you're done. It looks so good. It's a very complicated looking tie, but it literally takes 2 seconds and is so timeless. You will see this echoed everywhere throughout history, and I think that's for good reason. And then the last tie is one that I think looks so glamorous and always makes me think of 1950s movie stars. So just like the first tie, this one requires folding the scarf into a thin rectangle and then tying it once or twice to suit your preferences, and then draping the 2 ends either over your shoulders, just draping in front of your outfit, or behind the back. Any way that you see that suits your outfit and your mood for that day. You really can't go wrong. Speaking of accessories, I also really love layered necklaces. I think they look fantastic with every neckline, and they feel very modern. So even if you have a piece in your wardrobe that's really classic in design, maybe you've had it for a few years, by layering on necklaces, it feels very current. So I've got a couple things that I like to keep in mind to ensure they don't get tangled and they look really great. And the first is I like to make my necklaces go from small to large, basically. So I will work thin chain to thicker chain, and then small emblem or pendant to thicker, larger pendant. Doing this also helps prevent your necklaces from getting tangled. Now, if you still end up with a tangled mess at the end of the day, you can buy jewelry extenders that you can actually attach your individual necklaces to keep them separated. This is really helpful because it prevents that little knot that can happen in the back where all the chains kind of, especially the loose longer chains, get tangled together, and I find it infinitely valuable. And then my last tip in this is to keep everything looking very visually appealing. A space of 1 to 2 inches between your necklaces always looks fantastic. And there you have it. Those are some more dressing rules I think everyone should learn. I hope that you liked this and as always found it valuable. And thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next one. Have a great day.